Second Vincent Giles. I work for the Johnson County Crime Scene Unit. I've been there for 5 years. I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 7 years. Well, I know everyone's seen Luminol on TV. It's very CSI. We're able to look for latent blood stains. And so if you have a car that there was a shooting in and we're looking for blood stains that we can't find, we're able to spray this luminol inside the car in the dark and it'll glow. It literally has a luminescence. And so we're able to swab for DNA that way. It can be 20 years old too. If we have a scene that we find out that someone was killed inside a house, we didn't know the location at the time, and 20 years later we can look for blood, it can have an extreme dilution and be fine. For scene work, you always hear about if you have a scene with a decomposed body, which we get quite a bit in the summer, you might have to stick your hand in their hand while you're rolling prints in an autopsy. We have to do that. It's a little gross, but it's for the victim. We're making sure ID's there, and you do wear gloves, so it's not that bad. But like I said, we do deal with a lot of decomp bodies. But do not recommend that for your first autopsy, so I'd stress that. We work a lot of shootings. We have suicides every once in a while with high-powered rifles. You do get kind of to be used to it. You really do, and you end up enjoying the death investigation. And I think that's probably my favorite part, is figuring out how the person died and you know, as far as investigation purposes, and working with the forensic pathologist and getting to see what he thinks of the case is really neat. We worked a homicide a couple years ago, and the case has been closed since then. And we had a victim that was killed inside a vehicle. We super glued the inside of the car because that's what you do for surfaces that are porous, like your dashboards and things like that are kind of a rougher surface. And so we super glued the inside of the car, and I just did a touch swab collection for a door lock, and on those swabs you don't always know what you get, and I was able to get the suspect's fingerprints, 4 of them, on the inside of the door handle, and then I was able to get his DNA on just touching the door lock on the door, and we were able to convict him. And I just felt like the biggest hero, and it was pretty awesome. It was a good feeling, and that's what you look for. You don't always get those slam dunks, and you don't always know what you're getting at the scene, but you're the most important part of that investigation, because if you don't collect it, it doesn't get to a lab. So that's pretty neat.
And I'm Norm Bissonette with the Johnson County, Kansas Sheriff's Office. And this is a 2012 Bearcat. The Sheriff's Office was able to get this Bearcat through drug forfeiture seizure monies. We use it on high-risk search warrants, barricaded subjects. It's an armored vehicle. It can carry anywhere from 12 to 15 personnel inside of it. The team that uses is called Sept, and it's Sheriff's Emergency Response Team, very similar to a SWAT team. It weighs right around 19,000 pounds. It's about 21 feet long, about 12 feet high. It's got the V10 6.8 liter motor in it. It's got the thermal camera and regular camera at the top, there next to the turret. It's got the ballistic glass all the way around, but there's a lot of training that goes with it, and what an asset.
My name's Brent Moore. I'm a sergeant with the Sheriff's Office. I currently work in our Warrants unit. Yeah, I'm team leader for our Sept team. It's a Sheriff's Emergency Response Team. We do lots of different types of calls. This is just some of the equipment we would use on any of our various call-outs if we were called out. So this is called an FN 303. It runs off of compressed air, similar to a paintball gun. It's a less lethal weapon system that we'd use for different situations. That's one of our 40mm launchers. We use it mostly for deploying chemical munitions into a house or a structure if we had somebody barricaded and we want to push them out to us. That's a breaching shotgun. We can use that to you know, shoot deadbolts or hinges with a special round. And then this is an MP5 SD. It's just basically a submachine gun, fires a 9mm round. And this is our primary weapon system, what we'd use on our TAC team, which is an AR-15, and then one of our sniper rifles, which is a 308. Typically we would deploy, some of our guys would have rifles, and then we would have some that would have less lethal. You need various tools, and that's why we have various tools basically in the toolbox that we might have to use at any time. So.